Cancer. Do this when you feel overwhelmed, simple and real. If you are a Cancer who has been carrying the weight of everything and everyone around you, and you feel like you are about to break under the pressure of it all, this video is going to change the way you handle that heaviness forever. I know what it feels like. You wake up and the first thing that hits you is not excitement. It is not motivation. It is this wave of invisible pressure that sits on your chest and whispers that everything is too much, that you cannot keep up, that the world is moving faster than your ability to cope with it. And the worst part is that nobody around you seems to notice. They see you functioning. They see you smiling. They see you holding it all together. But inside you feel like you are drowning in slow motion. You have been told to be strong your entire life. You have been the one everyone leans on, the one who listens, who absorbs, who carries. And somewhere along the way, you forgot that you are allowed to put that weight down. You forgot that overwhelm is not a personality trait. It is a signal. And today, I am going to give you 10 real, grounded, and deeply practical things you can do when that overwhelm hits. Not vague advice, not empty words. Real shifts that will change the way your body, your mind, and your energy respond to pressure. Stay with me through all 10 because the last 3 are the ones most Cancers never hear. And they are the ones that change everything. Tip 1. Stop absorbing what does not belong to you. There is something about the way you move through the world that makes you a magnet for other people's emotions. You walk into a room and within minutes, you are carrying feelings that were never yours to begin with. Someone is anxious, and suddenly your stomach tightens. Someone is angry, and your mood drops without explanation. Someone is sad, and you feel the tears building behind your eyes even though nothing in your own life has changed. This is not weakness. This is not a flaw. But it is something you need to understand if you are ever going to stop feeling overwhelmed by life. Because a massive portion of what you feel on any given day does not actually originate inside you. It comes from the people around you, from the energy and spaces you enter, from conversations you overhear, from the tension in the air that nobody else seems to notice but that you absorb like a sponge in water. And the reason this matters so much is because when you do not recognize what belongs to you and what does not, you end up trying to process emotions that are not yours. You spend hours feeling heavy and drained and you do not even know why. You replay moments in your head looking for the source of your discomfort, but you cannot find it because it was never your discomfort to begin with. The first real shift you need to make is learning to pause before you absorb. When you feel a sudden change in your emotional state, stop. Ask yourself one simple question. Did something actually happen to me right now, or did I just pick this up from someone else? That pause alone will begin to change everything. It creates a tiny gap between the emotion and your response. And in that gap is your freedom. You do not need to build walls. You do not need to shut people out. You just need to become aware of the difference between your feelings and the feelings you have collected from the world around you. Start paying attention to how you feel when you are alone versus how you feel in groups. Notice the difference. Notice how your body shifts when certain people enter the room. Notice how your chest tightens or your breathing changes when you are around specific energies. These are signals. They are information. And once you start reading them correctly, you will stop carrying weight that was never meant for your shoulders. This one shift alone will reduce your sense of overwhelm by half. Because half of what exhausts you was never yours in the first place. Let it go. Not with force, with awareness. Simply notice it, name it, and let it pass through you instead of settling into your bones. You have spent years absorbing. Now you are going to learn to let things flow through without sticking. And that changes everything about how heavy your days feel. Tip 2. Give yourself permission to not be okay. There is a lie you have been living with for a very long time. And the lie sounds like this. I have to hold it together. I have to be the strong one. I have to keep going no matter what. And every single time you tell yourself that story, you push your own needs further and further down until they become invisible, until you forget they exist, until one day you break down over something small, and you cannot understand why a spilled cup of coffee or a slightly rude comment sent you spiraling. But it was never about the coffee. It was never about the comment. It was about the hundreds of moments before that one where you refused to acknowledge that you were struggling, where you smiled when you wanted to cry, where you said I am fine when you were anything but fine. This is the pattern that keeps you trapped in cycles of overwhelm. Not the hard things themselves, but your refusal to feel them in real time. You delay your emotions. You store them. You tuck them away in corners of your body like old boxes in an attic, thinking that if you do not look at them, they will eventually disappear. But they do not disappear. They accumulate, they compound, and they come flooding out at the worst possible moments, leaving you confused and ashamed, and even more convinced that something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. You are just full. You have been collecting emotional weight for months, maybe years, without ever setting it down. And the permission you need right now is the permission to not be okay. To sit with discomfort without fixing it. To cry without calling it weakness. To say out loud, "Today is hard," without attaching a plan to make it better. You do not always need a solution. Sometimes you just need space to feel. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop performing strength and start honoring your actual human experience. When you give yourself this permission, something remarkable happens. The overwhelm starts to lose its grip. Because overwhelm feeds on resistance. It grows when you fight it. It swells when you pretend it is not there. But when you turn toward it and say, "Yes, I see you, I feel you, and I am not going to run from you," it begins to soften. Not immediately, not dramatically, but slowly like ice in warm water. It melts, and what is left underneath is not weakness. It is relief. Deep, honest, long overdue relief. Give yourself that today. Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Right now. You are allowed to not be okay. And that allowance is the doorway to actually getting better. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. Shrink your world when everything feels too big. When overwhelm hits a Cancer, the instinct is to try to manage everything at once. You look at the full picture of your life and you see all the things that need attention, all the people who need you, all the responsibilities that are piling up, and your brain tries to hold it all at the same time. And that is exactly what breaks you. Because you are not built to carry everything simultaneously. Nobody is. But you especially feel the weight of it because you do not just see tasks. You feel them. Every unchecked item on your list comes with an emotional charge. Every unresolved conversation lingers in your body. Every obligation carries a story. And when you try to process all of those stories at once, your system shuts down. Not because you are weak, because you are overwhelmed by depth, not volume. Other signs get overwhelmed by how much there is to do. You get overwhelmed by how much there is to feel about what needs to be done. And the solution is counterintuitive. Instead of trying to tackle everything, shrink your world. Deliberately and intentionally make your focus smaller. Pick one thing. Just one. Not the biggest thing. Not the most urgent thing. The thing that feels most within reach right now. And give it your full attention. Not while thinking about the other 9 things waiting. Not while worrying about what happens next. Just this one thing. When you complete it, sit with that completion for a moment. Let yourself feel the relief of something being done. Then pick the next thing. This is not laziness. This is not avoidance. This is strategic emotional management. You are giving your nervous system permission to engage with life one piece at a time instead of drowning in the whole ocean at once. And here is what will surprise you. When you shrink your world, you actually get more done. Because the paralysis lifts. The fog clears. Your energy returns. And tasks that felt impossible, when they were part of a massive pile, suddenly become manageable when they stand alone. Think about how you eat a meal. You do not try to swallow everything at once. You take one bite at a time. And by the end, the entire plate is empty. Life works the same way when you stop trying to consume it whole. The problem is that your mind has been conditioned to believe that if you are not thinking about everything, you are being irresponsible. That if you are not worrying about every detail simultaneously, something will slip through the cracks. But the opposite is true. When you try to hold everything at once, that is when things slip. That is when you forget. That is when the quality of your attention drops so low that nothing gets the care it deserves. Narrowing your focus does not mean you are ignoring the rest of your life. It means you are giving each piece of your life the attention it actually needs, one piece at a time. You do not need to see the whole staircase. You just need to see the next step. And for a Cancer who feels everything deeply, that next step is enough. That next step is everything. Shrink your world. Watch your overwhelm shrink with it. The big picture will still be there when you are ready. But right now, small is powerful. Small is healing. Small is exactly what you need. Tip 4. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to rest. You have a pattern that is so deeply ingrained you probably do not even recognize it anymore. You tell yourself that you will rest when everything is done. You will take a break when the house is clean. You will slow down when the project is finished. You will breathe when everyone else is taken care of. But that moment never comes. Because there is always one more thing. Always one more person who needs you. Always one more task that feels too important to postpone. And so you keep going, and going, and going, until your body forces you to stop through exhaustion, through illness, through emotional collapse. This is not strength. This is self-destruction wearing a mask of responsibility. And it needs to stop today. Rest is not something you earn. It is something you require. Like water, like air, like food. Your body and your mind need periods of genuine stillness in order to function. And when you deny yourself that stillness, you are not being noble. You are slowly depleting the very energy that allows you to care for others in the first place. Think about it this way. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And your cup has been empty for a long time. You have been scraping the bottom, pouring out the last drops, and pretending there is still something left. But there is not. And everyone around you can feel it even if they cannot name it. Your patience is thinner. Your reactions are sharper. Your joy is dimmer. These are not personality changes. These are symptoms of a person who has not rested properly in far too long. And there is another layer to this that most people do not talk about. When you refuse to rest, you are also sending yourself a message. A deeply damaging message that says your needs do not matter. That everyone else's comfort is more important than your survival. That you are only valuable when you are productive. And over time, that message gets absorbed into the very fabric of who you believe you are. You stop seeing rest as something natural and start seeing it as something you have to justify. You feel guilty for sitting down. You feel anxious when your hands are idle. You feel like a fraud when you are not doing something for someone else. And that guilt, that anxiety, that sense of fraudulence, those are not natural feelings. Those are the scars of a lifetime spent believing that your worth depends on your output. It does not. You are not a machine. You are a human being. And human beings were designed to move in rhythms of effort and recovery, of doing and being, of giving and receiving. When you cut out the recovery, when you eliminate the being, when you refuse to receive, you break the rhythm. And a broken rhythm eventually breaks the person. So here is what I want you to do. Stop waiting. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait until you feel like you deserve it. Take rest now, even if it is just 10 minutes of sitting in silence. Even if it is just closing your eyes and breathing deeply for 60 seconds. Even if it is just stepping outside and feeling the air on your skin without thinking about what comes next. These tiny moments of pause are not luxuries. They are lifelines. And you need them more than you are willing to admit. The world will not fall apart if you stop for 10 minutes. But you might fall apart if you do not. Choose yourself. Just this once. Choose rest before your body forces it on you. That is not selfish. That is survival. And it is long overdue. Tip 5. Say no without explaining yourself. This one is going to feel uncomfortable. And that discomfort is exactly how you know you need it. You have spent your life being the person who says yes. Yes, I will help. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I will be there. Yes, I will take care of it. And every single yes that does not come from a genuine place of desire takes a piece of you with it. Not a big piece, a small one, but small pieces add up. And after years of saying yes when you meant no, you are standing here wondering where you went, wondering why you feel so hollow, wondering why helping others no longer fills you up the way it used to. It is because you have been giving from obligation, not from overflow. You have been saying yes out of guilt, out of fear of disappointing people, out of some deeply held belief that your value is directly tied to your usefulness. And that belief is a cage. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of overgiving that leaves you empty and resentful, even though you would never admit the resentment out loud. But it is there, simmering beneath the surface, showing up as irritability, as fatigue, as that vague sense of being taken for granted. And the antidote is 2 letters long. No. Not no with a long explanation attached. Not no with an apology. Not no followed by a detailed justification of why you cannot do this particular thing. Just no. Clean, clear, complete. You do not owe anyone an explanation for protecting your energy. You do not owe anyone a reason for choosing yourself. And the people who truly care about you will not need one. They will respect your boundary without requiring you to defend it. The ones who demand an explanation, who push back, who make you feel guilty for saying no. Those are the exact people you need to say it to the most, because they have been benefiting from your inability to set limits, and they will not like it when you start. That is okay. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your peace is your responsibility. And every time you say no to something that drains you, you are saying yes to yourself. You are saying yes to your energy, your health, your sanity, your joy. And I want to address something that might be happening in your mind right now. You might be thinking, but what if they get upset? What if they stop calling? What if I lose the relationship? And I hear you. That fear is real. But let me ask you this. If a relationship can only survive when you are constantly sacrificing yourself, is it really a relationship worth protecting? Or is it an arrangement where your suffering is the price of admission? Real love does not require you to destroy yourself to maintain it. Real friendship does not demand that you say yes to everything in order to stay in the circle. If your no causes someone to walk away, they were not standing beside you. They were standing on top of you, and you deserve to know the difference. Start small. Say no to one thing today. One request, one favor, one obligation that does not serve you. And notice how it feels. It will feel strange at first, maybe even wrong. But underneath that strangeness, you will find something you have not felt in a long time: freedom. Tip 6. Create a space that feels like a sanctuary. Your environment matters more to you than it does to most people. And I do not just mean whether it is clean or organized, although that matters too. I mean the energy of your space, the feeling of it, the way the light falls, the way the air moves, the temperature, the sounds, the textures. All of it registers in your body at a level most people do not experience. When your space feels chaotic, you feel chaotic. When your space feels heavy, you feel heavy. When your surroundings are cluttered and noisy and disordered, your inner world mirrors that disorder perfectly. And this is why so many cancers feel overwhelmed without understanding the cause. They are living in environments that are constantly feeding their nervous systems information that says something is wrong, not through any obvious threat, but through accumulated sensory input that never allows their body to fully relax. You need a sanctuary, not a perfect home, not an expensive redesign, just one space, even if it is a single corner of a single room that feels like yours. That feels calm. That feels safe. A place where you can sit and know that nothing is required of you, where the visual noise is low, where the energy is still. This might mean clearing off a table and putting a single candle on it. It might mean rearranging a chair so it faces a window. It might mean putting fresh sheets on your bed and deciding that for the next hour, that bed is your entire world. The specifics do not matter as much as the intention. You are creating a physical space that tells your nervous system it is okay to stand down. It is okay to stop scanning for threats. It is okay to stop managing and fixing and solving. In this space, you are just a person, not a caretaker, not a problem solver, not the one everyone depends on. Just you, breathing, existing, being held by the stillness of a space you designed for your own peace. And here is something most people underestimate. The act of creating this space is itself a form of healing. When you take the time to arrange something just for yourself, when you choose an object or a color or a texture based entirely on what brings you peace, you are practicing self-care in its most fundamental form. You are telling yourself, through action rather than words, that your comfort matters, that your peace is worth investing in, that you deserve a place in this world that exists solely for your well-being. This is not decoration. This is medicine. And for someone who has spent their entire life creating comfort for everyone else, the act of creating comfort for yourself can be profoundly emotional. You might find tears coming when you sit in your sanctuary for the first time. Not tears of sadness, tears of recognition. Your body recognizing what it has been missing. Your soul acknowledging what it has been craving. A place where nothing is expected and everything is allowed. Most cancers never do this. They spend all their energy making their home comfortable for everyone else. They arrange things for their family. They create warmth for their loved ones. They make sure everyone feels welcome and cared for. But they never carve out a space that is just for them. That changes today. Find your corner. Clear it. Make it sacred. And go there when the world feels like too much. Not as an escape from reality, but as a launching pad for facing it with more strength. Your sanctuary will not solve your problems, but it will give you the stillness you need to face them with clarity instead of chaos. And that makes all the difference. Tip 7. Let your emotions move through your body. You feel everything. We have already established that. But here is the part that most cancers miss. Feeling is not the same as processing. You can feel an emotion intensely and still not actually move it through your system. You can sit with grief for weeks and never let it leave. You can carry anger in your shoulders for months without ever releasing it. You can hold fear in your chest so long that you forget what it feels like to breathe fully. Emotions are not meant to live in your body permanently. They are meant to arrive, deliver their message, and move on. But when you hold on to them, when you grip them tightly because you are afraid of what happens if you let go, they become stuck. They become physical. They become the headache that will not go away, the tightness in your back, the knot in your stomach that no amount of food or medicine seems to touch. Your body is holding what your mind refuses to release. And until you find a way to let those emotions move, the overwhelm will keep building. Because you are not just overwhelmed by today. You are overwhelmed by today plus every unprocessed feeling from the last 6 months stacked on top of it. So how do you move emotions through your body? You move your body. Sounds almost too simple, but the connection between emotional release and physical movement is one of the most well-documented patterns in human experience. When you walk, your body begins to process. When you stretch, your muscles release stored tension. When you dance, when you shake, when you let your body move without structure or purpose, energy that has been trapped starts to flow again. You do not need a gym membership. You do not need a routine. You just need permission to move. Put on music and let your body sway. Step outside and walk without a destination. Lie on the floor and stretch in whatever direction feels good. Shake your hands. Roll your neck. Stomp your feet. Let the energy that has been sitting inside you find a way out. And if movement does not feel accessible, use your voice. Hum. Sing. Sigh deeply. Let sound carry what your muscles cannot. The point is not the method. The point is the release. You have been containing your emotions for so long that your body is full. It needs an outlet. Give it one. Even 5 minutes of intentional movement can shift your entire emotional state. Not because the problems disappear, but because the accumulated weight of unfelt feelings finally begins to lighten. And when you are lighter, everything else becomes more manageable. The same situation that felt impossible when you were carrying 3 months of unprocessed grief suddenly feels handleable when your body is clear. Move, release, breathe. This is not exercise. This is emotional hygiene, and you need it desperately. Tip 8. Stop replaying conversations that are already over. Your mind has a feature that feels more like a curse. It replays things over and over and over. That conversation from 2 weeks ago where you said something you wish you had not said. That moment where someone's tone shifted and you are still trying to figure out what it meant. That interaction where you walked away feeling like something was wrong, but you could not put your finger on what. And your mind takes those moments and puts them on a loop, binning them, analyzing them, searching for hidden meaning, for threat, for evidence that you did something wrong or that someone is upset with you. This mental replay is one of the biggest sources of overwhelm in your life. Not because the original events were so devastating, most of them were not, but because your mind refuses to let them end. It keeps pulling you back into moments that are finished, asking you to solve problems that may not even exist, demanding that you find certainty in situations that were simply ambiguous. And you cannot find certainty in ambiguity. You can only find exhaustion. Every time you replay a conversation, you relive the emotions attached to it. Your body does not know the difference between the original event and the memory of it. When you replay that awkward moment, your heart rate increases as if it is happening again. Your muscles tense. Your breathing shifts. You are putting your body through the same stress response multiple times for something that happened once. And it is draining you. It is stealing your present moment and replacing it with a past you cannot change. So how do you stop? You do not try to force the thoughts away. That never works. Resistance makes them louder. Instead, you interrupt the pattern with a single phrase. You say to yourself, "That conversation is over. I responded the best I could with what I knew at the time, and now it is done." Then you redirect your attention to something physical, something in the present moment, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the temperature of the air on your skin, the sound of whatever is happening around you right now. You anchor yourself in the now because the now is the only place where overwhelm cannot survive. Overwhelm lives in the past and the future. It feeds on what already happened and what might happen next. But it cannot exist in the present moment because the present moment is just this. Just here. Just now. And right now you are okay. Train yourself to come back. Again and again and again. Every time your mind tries to drag you into a finished conversation, bring yourself back to now. It is a practice. It is not a one-time fix. But over time the loops get shorter, the replays lose their power, and you reclaim hours of mental energy that were being wasted on moments you cannot undo. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. Accept that you cannot control how people feel about you. This is the one that cuts deepest. Because underneath all of your overwhelm, underneath the people-pleasing and the overgiving and the constant worry, there is a fear. A quiet, persistent, never fully spoken fear that if you stop performing, people will leave. That if you show the messy, tired, imperfect version of yourself, the people you love will decide you are not enough. That your worth is measured by what you provide. And if you stop providing, you become disposable. This fear drives almost everything you do. It is the reason you say yes when you want to say no. It is the reason you exhaust yourself for people who would not do the same for you. It is the reason you apologize for things that were not your fault and take responsibility for emotions that do not belong to you. You are trying to control how people feel about you by being everything they need. And it is killing you. Not quickly. Slowly. One act of self-abandonment at a time. And here is the truth you need to hear even though it will sting. You cannot control how people feel about you. You never could. No matter how much you give, no matter how perfectly you perform, no matter how many of your own needs you sacrifice on the altar of someone else's comfort, people will feel what they feel. Some will love you. Some will not. Some will appreciate everything you do. Others will take it for granted. And none of that has anything to do with your actual value. Your worth is not determined by a vote. It is not a consensus. It is not something that can be taken from you because someone decides they no longer need what you offer. You are inherently worthy, not because of what you do, because of who you are. And until you internalize that truth, really let it sink into the deepest parts of you, you will keep running on this exhausting treadmill of trying to earn love that should have been given freely. There is a particular kind of exhaustion that comes from living this way. It is not physical tiredness, although your body feels it. It is soul tiredness. The deep, bone-level weariness of never being able to just exist without calculating how your existence affects everyone around you. You walk through your days performing a constant invisible equation. If I say this, they will think that. If I do this, they might feel that. If I do not respond fast enough, they will assume this. And every single one of those calculations costs you energy. Energy you could be spending on your own growth, your own healing, your own joy. But instead it gets poured into the bottomless well of trying to manage perceptions that were never in your control to begin with. Let people feel what they feel. Let them be disappointed if that is their choice. Let them misunderstand you if that is their path. Your job is not to manage the emotional experience of every person in your life. Your job is to be honest, to be kind, to be real, and to let the chips fall where they may. The people who are meant for you will stay. Not because you performed well enough to keep them, but because they see you, the real you, the unfiltered, imperfect, sometimes struggling you. And they choose you anyway. Those are the connections worth having. Everything else is a cage dressed up as love, and you deserve to be free. Tip 10. Remember that overwhelm is not your identity. This is the last thing I need you to hear, and I need you to hear it clearly. You have been overwhelmed for so long that it has started to feel like who you are. It has woven itself into your identity so tightly that you cannot imagine yourself without it. When someone asks how you are doing, the answer is always some version of busy, tired, stressed, or just getting through it. And you say these words so automatically that you do not even notice them anymore. They have become your default setting, your resting state, your normal. But overwhelm is not your normal. It is not your baseline. It is a temporary state that has overstayed its welcome because you never asked it to leave. You never challenged the assumption that this is just how life is for you. You never questioned whether the constant pressure and emotional weight and relentless sense of too muchness is actually an unchangeable fact of your existence. It is not. It is a pattern. And patterns can be interrupted. They can be redirected. They can be replaced with something better. You are not a permanently overwhelmed person. You are a deeply feeling person who has not yet learned the skills to manage the depth of what you experience. There is a massive difference between those two things. One is a life sentence. The other is a learning curve. And you are on the learning curve right now. Every tip in this video, every shift I have described is a tool. Tools do not work sitting on a shelf. They work when you pick them up and use them. Consistently, patiently, without expecting overnight transformation, but with complete faith that small changes, repeated over time, create entirely new realities. You did not become overwhelmed overnight. And you will not become peaceful overnight either. But you can start today, right now, with one small choice that says, I am no longer willing to live this way. I am no longer willing to accept constant overwhelm as the price of being sensitive. I am no longer willing to sacrifice my peace for other people's comfort. That one choice, made sincerely, is the beginning of everything. Not the end of your journey, the beginning. And every step after it gets a little easier. Not because life gets simpler, but because you get stronger, more aware, more boundaried, more grounded in who you actually are underneath all the noise and pressure and emotional weight. You are not your overwhelm. You are the person underneath it. And that person is tired, yes, but that person is also resilient, capable, worthy of a life that feels spacious and calm, and full of genuine joy instead of manufactured busyness. That life is available to you. It always has been. You just could not see it through the fog of everything you were carrying. But the fog is lifting now. Slowly but surely it is lifting. And what you are going to find on the other side is not a different world. It is a different you. A you who knows how to put things down. A you who knows when to say no. A you who honors their own needs without guilt or apology. That version of you is not some distant fantasy. It is one decision away. And you are making that decision right now, simply by being here, simply by listening, simply by being willing to consider that things can be different. They can, and they will, because you are ready. I can feel it. You have been ready for a while. You were just waiting for someone to tell you it was okay to start. So here it is. It is okay. More than okay. It is necessary. And you are going to be extraordinary at it. Because you have already survived the hardest part. The hardest part was living the way you have been living. Everything from here is lighter. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift. Or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.